put on your life jacket. You're not wanting to do it, but they're showing you what you have to do in case something happens. Okay. None of us want to buy a lifeboat and just stick it in our backyard. But we take great comfort if we're on board a ship at sea that they're out there lining the deck for us to use. That's what gold is. Gold is a life preserver for your wealth, and silver even more so. Now, when your great-grandfather or your grandfather earned his $20 gold piece, he could take that $20 gold piece and he could go to a bank and get 20 silver dollars. Now, there's 0.77 of an ounce of silver in this silver dollar, so if you do that times 20, you come up with 15.4. That was the ratio from the time of Rome to the 1930s, before FDR seized the gold, made it illegal to own gold in this country. The ratio basically was 15 to 1. Brad, do some more math for us. Divide 35 into 1725. That's $35 an ounce is somewhere where silver's at right now. So when you divide 35...
49.28 right now.
Right. Because the world economy is so messed up, and because bankers and investment people are saying stay out of precious metals, you know, it's real, there's a lot of turmoil there and everything. But the reality is right now, for blue collar people, silver is 66% off. For what used to be a 15 to 1 ratio is now what, 49 to 1 ratio?
49 to 1.
Okay. Here's another kicker on silver. Unlike Ramsey, gold is really not, like I said, a wealth multiplier, but silver is, because it's so far below historical relationship. That's right. So what I tell folks is, you know, if you've got money to invest, people come in and boy, they look at all that gold and they go, wow, you know, gold is kind of like dazzling, you know. But silver is what's going to make people rich. To just make it plain. Now, Obama said he was change you could believe in, but I'm going to deliver. He didn't. This is change you could really believe in. These are silver dimes that we spent when we were kids. Okay. My dad would give me one of these. I could go into the malt shop and walk over to the comic book stand and I could get me a Sergeant Rock comic or Superman for a dime. I think those comic books are about $2.25 now. But guess what? Again, these have $2.50 worth of silver in them. You can still buy that comic with this dime or what it's valued at. Okay. If we are reduced through hyperinflation to a barter type economy, dimes are going to be a real lifesaver. Nobody wants to buy a loaf of bread for 1 ounce of silver when it only costs a dime's worth. I have no paper investments at all, but I have thousands of these silver dimes put up for me and my family. You have to think of it this way. What happens if the currency is destroyed? I'm going to give you an analogy. Let's say after this is over, you guys have to go to Houston. But the first thing you do is you go out, get up under your car, you pull the drain plug out of your oil pan, drain all the oil out, and then you take off for Houston. You're not going to make it. You have to think of currency as being the oil of commerce, of industry, of agriculture. I was drinking some water here a while ago and I looked at the bottle and it said it was from Ontario, California. And I started thinking, you know, that water guy, he's doing the reverse osmosis, he's putting money into equipment, buying the plastic bottles to put it in, he's putting the water in the bottles, putting them on trucks, shipping them all over the place. He's not going to do that if he gets all of his water to orange and we're paying him in worthless currency, is he? How many people's going to go to the Walmart if there's nothing to sell and stay there all week and get paid in a worthless currency. You have to extrapolate and think what happens when the money is absolutely worthless. Well, everybody panics at first. Everybody goes nuts. There's no food coming in. People are crying and can't feed their kids. It's a really, really ugly scenario. I highly recommend this book right here. I'm not trying to scare you. Like I said, I didn't bring anything to sell anybody, and I'm not trying to sell anybody. I take great comfort in knowing that when it does eventually happen, that I've taken the time to warn some folks, and they may be better off than they would have been. This guy lived through the Argentine hyperinflation. And in this book, he's in Buenos Aires. How big is the town is that, Brad? Have you ever been there?
Yeah, it's the capital and it's huge. It's
at least the size of Houston, is it not?
not geographically, but population-wise, yeah. It doesn't cover as much square area.
Right.
But
So one of the favorite foods about
It's
6 months into the hyperinflation was cats. They all disappeared.
yeah.
I mean, it's a...
Who wrote that book? Who's the
Oh, okay. City Field
Fernando.
Elections.
I'm sorry, my eyes don't get there.
Oh, okay. I'll pass it up to you in just a second. Let's see.
Fairfax, F-E-R-F-A-L.
Is that a middle name?
Aguirre, yeah, it's a middle name. Last name's Aguirre, A-G-U-I-R-R-E.
Yeah, if you just want to, did you guys want to look at it? I'm going to let you write it down first. That's got a lot of practical information. That guy's not like me. A lot of things I'm saying is admittedly speculation, but it's from it's from the viewpoint of a guy like me. I've read history all my life. I've studied the Weimar Republic, which was the German hyperinflation. I've studied Zimbabwe. People tend to think, and why they think this way, I don't know. But they think because it hasn't happened here, it can't happen here. That's wrong. That's like saying, hey, I know if I jump off a 30-story building in America that law of gravity is going to kick in and I'm going to hit the ground and be dead. But that's probably not the way it works in Russia, or that's probably not the way it works somewhere else. There are economic laws in place that if you violate them, you pay the price no matter what nation you are. And we have violated it in printing all this money, and we're going to pay the price for it. I've got, let's see here. Here we go. In the last 100 years, and this is really small print, but in the last 100 years, that's a list of all the nations that suffered hyperinflation.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So it's not like something that occurs rarely.
Most of these guys should be young enough to remember when Mexico had to redo all of their pesos.
Right. They
That happened
don't people come into your coin shop all the time with
Yeah.
Mexican money
all
that's
the old
absolutely
pesos,
worthless?
yeah. I mean, they dropped 3 zeros off their money. I mean, it had gotten so bad, they just dropped 3 zeros and called it a new peso. They couldn't print.
This